Good evening, guys, and welcome once again to the classroom with Architect Mark. And today we're going to be talking about primitives, which are basic 3D models, or they're 3D volumes, rather, that you can create within a particular program. Now, primitives exist over all types of 3D programs. Like they always have the basics, and then something special. Like for 3D Max, there's this teapot. For Blender, there's this I believe it's like a monkey image or something. So yeah, those are primitives, and we're gonna check out the primitives within AutoCAD because it does have some. So we have our timer on the ready, and let's get on to our classroom and then check out what we have ready right there. So as you can see, the model space is blank because we're gonna be creating our models within it, and we don't need a basis in order to perform these commands. All right, so start the timer and then the discussion. So the primitives can be found within the 3D Tools tab. If you don't have this, what you want to do is go into, like, for example, Home or any tab that has a blank space. Right click on the blank space and then Show Tabs and then 3D Tools. You can find that there. So we'll do it with Visualize here so you'll see how that works. So when we click that, Visualize comes on here, so it becomes unhidden, and then you can see the panels within it. So okay, Visualize is for rendering basically, but we won't dabble onto this because we don't really need to be rendering within AutoCAD. While we can, using this, it's so much harder than it looks. So yeah, let's skip this for now. And then let's go head on over to 3D Tools. Now we have here solid history. If I'm reading this correctly, solid history basically maintains the integrity of your models from the time that you create it. So it would generate a bigger file. This is a toggle that you turn on and off, as you can see here. 1 for on, 0 for off. So this basically tells AutoCAD to save more information. On this modeling panel, this is where we find our primitives. Now you can see here, there are blue models and then yellow models. So these are two different models, model types. One is polygonal and one is comprised of meshes. And let's not go into the details of that right now. So let's focus on looking at what AutoCAD offers as far as primitives are concerned. So right here, we have a box with a down arrow here. So let's use box first. So box, specify corner or center, corner, corner, and then height. Yeah, let's just say her height is one. Oops, sorry about that. 100. Let's see how big that is. Okay, so it came out pretty small. Like I said before, since this is a newer AutoCAD, we now have free control over some of the aspects of modeling here that is given to us with these handles. This was not here before. You're lucky that you already have these. Uh, you you needed to um, go into some of the solid editing here, solid editing items here to play play around with your models. So basically, there we have a box. What else do we have? We have a cylinder. Cylinder requires the center point base. So, so you can see here, you can use other options if you wanted to. These are all going to create a cylinder, but if you have, like, if you know that the cylinder should lie from this point to this point, you might be better off choosing one of the other choices here. But for now, let's start with the default center point and then base radius or diameter. So right now it's choosing the radius. So if we choose diameter, it becomes smaller because it's just 1/2. So let's say about this size, and then the height about this size. Now, as you can see, the cylinder is just represented by two straight lines up and then two circles. Um, while we can see it like this, oh, I'm sorry, it's not two, it's four. 1, 2, 3, 4, not two. Let's see. Yep, it's 4. So this is the isoline value right now is 4. That means curves, when being represented in CAD, because these are mathematical constructs, and not really, like, CAD looks at this not really as geometry but as math. So it can use just a few lines to identify an object. Like, for example, you can say, you can turn the isoline down if you feel it's giving you too much of a headache. Command is isoline. And then you can change this value. For example, let's say I want curves represented by only 3 isolines. So nothing happened yet, but when we regenerate this space, there we go. You can see that the cylinder is now showing the body using 3 isolines. So this is one of those display display commands which can make your life easier when you're looking at 3D. Okay, so we have a box, a cylinder. We also have a cone. So it's center, radius, and height, just like a cylinder. And then we have a sphere, which gives us something like that. This is a pretty big sphere, but let's keep it at that. We also have a pyramid. We can create that also. Okay, so inscribed or circumscribed radius right here, and then height. So as you can see, this is very different from the cone. Okay, let's move it right around that area. And then we also have a wedge. First corner, other corner, and then height. This is a wedge. What else do we have? A torus, which is basically a donut. So it asks us what would be the torus radius and then the tube radius. let's just go with a small tube here. So that's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th primitive. And then we have this polysolid here, which was not here before. Let's see what this does. Start point, next point. Okay, so basically it's a polyline command. So it's like creation of walls, basically. You can probably adjust this. That was correct. So if you adjust the here, this is the when you select the polysolid, it's following the size of this rectangle we have right over here. So if we change it, like if we change one point of it out, all it's like it's being swept all over or all around the identified polyline that we traced earlier. Now this likely, very likely, uh, oversteps on sweep, which is basically the same thing. So you have these basic shapes within AutoCAD, all of which, when you think about a particular structure or real life model that you're trying to create, these basic shapes can be foundational for you. Like, you could use it so that when you're modeling within CAD, you have very you have ideal references. Like for example, when you're shaping a head when you're drawing a human head, you would often want the sphere shape there and then cut it up. So that's pretty much what primitives allows us to do. It allows us to quickly mass out structure without having to go through many other or multiple commands like extrude, like these ones to the right of the primitive, which are extrude, revolve, loft, and sweep. So basically what this is what these are, sorry, these use shapes that you pre-create. So you pre-create a shape and then you apply, like you want to apply an extrusion on it, the shape moves out evenly. If you apply a revolve on the shape, you choose a revolution axis, and then this shape goes around that axis to a specific degree that you identify. Loft uses multiple shapes that are like, for example, you have a square here and a circle over here. When you loft those together, the square, the circle becomes the square. So there's like a fabric generated in between them. And then sweep, you need a path. Basically, you create a path, and then your shape can follow that path, just like how polysolid happened for us. So uh, our 12 minutes are up. Let's just see these in another light using the conceptual view. Should be okay. So they're all, since they're all using the zero layer, So it looks white with a few blue highlights. And that would be it for tonight. I will see you guys the next classroom. Take care. See you and bye bye.